Hello, this is Dr. Benfinio here with Mr. Googles, and in this video I will show you how to deal with a student who is being either intentionally or unintentionally disruptive in Zoom. I say unintentionally because in addition to intentionally disruptive behavior, you could have somebody whose intentions are benign, but maybe they don't really know how to use Zoom and the controls that well, and they're accidentally disrupting your class. In either case, I will show you a progressively severe set of actions you can take to deal with someone like that and help prevent further disruption. Number one, and this is probably the most common and the easiest step you can take, is to simply mute them. If you have someone who is talking out of turn, or they have a lot of background noise and do not have themselves muted, you can mute them manually by right-clicking on them and then selecting mute. Now, clearly that was pretty easy for me to do because I just have Mr. Googles as my guinea pig here, but you are probably teaching a class with lots of students, and it can be hard to hunt down the right person to find them and right-click them in gallery view. So you can also access a list of the students in the meeting by clicking the participants button down at the bottom. That will bring up a list of all the names, so if you recognize the student who's talking by name, you can find them here. And again, you have a mute button you can just click on. If you cannot find the student, if there's somebody talking, it's a big class and you don't know who it is, then you do have a mute all button. So that's kind of the drastic option. That's also going to mute the students who are behaving, but if you really need to silence someone because you can't figure out who to mute individually, you can click this mute all button down here at the bottom. When you click that, it will give you a checkbox that will say allow participants to unmute themselves. So if it's just somebody who had background noise and they weren't muting and you want people to be able to unmute to ask questions, you can leave that checked. If it is somebody who's really being disruptive and you're worried they're going to keep unmuting themselves, then if you uncheck that, when you click yes, everybody will be muted and they will not be able to unmute until you give them permission. Number two, next step up, shutting off somebody's video. So let's say you have somebody who is making funny faces or behaving inappropriately or distracting other students on camera. You can individually shut off their video, again, either by right-clicking on them and selecting stop video, or by going to their name in the participants list, clicking on more, and selecting stop video. Once you do that, it will show the person's name, or if they have a profile photo uploaded to Zoom, it will show that there along with their name, but their video will no longer be active. Now, once you do that, they will be unable to restart their video unless you manually click on them again and go ask to start video. So the controls are a little different. When I muted his video, I didn't have that little checkbox that said allow participants to unmute video this time. So once you shut that down, they cannot turn it back on unless you enable it. Now, the other difference between that and muting the audio is there is no mute all button for video. So this mute all button down here is only for people's microphones. It does not turn everybody's cameras off. So hopefully your whole class doesn't just go haywire on you because there's no way to turn off everybody's video at once. You need to right-click on people and do that individually. Number three, what if you have students being disruptive in the chat? So many teachers will use the chat function for Q&A. You'll ask students to type questions in instead of unmuting to ask you, because then you don't get as many people talking over each other. But if you have a lot of people just being silly in the chat or asking too many questions too fast so you can't keep up with them, you do have some control over that. So you can click on the chat button down here to open the chat window, and the default is that everybody can send messages to everybody. And there is no individual mute chat feature, so you cannot prevent individual users from using the chat, but you can control who they can send messages to. So this option is a little hidden. There is this little three-dot menu way down here in the right corner. And if you click on that, you'll see there are four different options here. You can turn the chat off completely. You can say participants can chat with no one. You can say participants can chat with the host only, so they can send you questions, but the students cannot talk to each other. You can say participants can talk to everyone publicly, so if you do want all of the other students to be able to see the questions, you can leave that on. But the default here is that they can talk to everyone publicly and privately. So in addition to public messages, students can also send private messages to each other. So if you don't want students having those side conversations, or you don't want them spamming the public channel with gibberish or too many questions, you can lock this down and set it to host only, or turn it off and set it to no one. But again, you cannot mute individual users and prevent them from using the chat if you have it set to public. Number four, putting a student in the waiting room. This is kind of like the Zoom equivalent of putting somebody in a timeout. So again, you can access this feature either by right-clicking on somebody's thumbnail and going down to Put in Waiting Room, or going to their name in the participants list, clicking on More, and then clicking on Put in Waiting Room. And what that's going to do is it's going to kick the participant out of the main meeting and put them in their own little meeting room where they cannot see or talk to anyone else. So in my participants list here, you see I now have part labeled Waiting Room and then one labeled In the Meeting. So people in the waiting room, even if there's multiple people there, they cannot see, hear, or talk to each other in chat. So it's not really the equivalent of putting 5 students all in the same timeout corner where they could all just talk to each other anyway. They just get a little loading screen that says you're in the waiting room, you're waiting for the host to admit you to the meeting. So you can have them sit there for as long as you want. They can't see or hear you in the main meeting either. Then when you are ready to let them back in, you can click the admit button and it will automatically bring them back into the meeting. Number 5, and this is your most dramatic option, to completely remove someone from the meeting. So maybe this is more like the equivalent of sending them to the principal's office. Again, you can do this by right-clicking on their thumbnail or hovering over their name in the participants list and selecting More, and then clicking Remove. That will give you a prompt confirming that you want to remove, so this takes 2 clicks. You don't want to accidentally do it in 1 click. And then gives you this warning that Mr. Googles will not be able to rejoin the meeting. So this isn't like where you send somebody to the waiting room and then you can let them back in. Once you kick them out, they're gone. Even if they try to re-enter the password or re-click the join link, it's not going to let them back into this meeting. So again, if somebody has totally lost all their chances and you're not going to let them back in, remember, if you do want to let somebody back in, that's what the waiting room's for. If you are kicking them out for good, you use the remove button and that will boot them out. So there you go, 5 ways to deal with a disruptive student in a Zoom meeting. Hopefully you never need to use any of the information in this video, but if you do, I hope you found it helpful. You can also find a link to my playlist of many other Zoom tutorials for teaching and learning online with Zoom in the description below this video. As always, if you have a question, a comment, or a suggestion for another tutorial, please leave a comment below the video. Thank you.